So it's a pleasure to be able to visit with two of our alums, Rachel Baker and Olivia Chaney from the class of 2014. Why don't you all share just a little bit about your journey from Trinity to this point? How did you end up where you are now? Rachel, tell us a little bit about how you ended up at Carnegie Mellon.
So I'm there for architecture, and I guess Trinity's unique curriculum really set me up to go into a field like that. And yeah, that's where I am right now.
And so you're in the fourth year of a 5-year program there, right? Yeah, that's great. Okay. And Olivia, your journey's been interesting and probably like a lot of our students.
Different. Yeah, I went to a community college, Alumni Community College, just near my house, for 2 years, and then I transferred into Carolina. And personally, it was challenging for me not to go to a 4-year university where all my classmates were going into a 4-year university. But for me personally, it was a great decision, both financially and just the experience I got from both ACC and Carolina has been wonderful. So I really am happy with my decision. But I think Trinity, the way that not only the college counselors worked with me through that, even though a lot of it was up in the air for a while, they worked with me and were very patient with me and made sure that wherever I was looking, it would be the right fit for me. And they were just always very encouraging. Even after my time at ACC, I came back to Trinity to talk to Miss Elliott about where exactly I should transfer. And she helped me again with that transfer process, which was wonderful to have that resource.
Yeah, it's great for our parents to know. I mean, a lot of our parents don't know a whole lot about our college counseling program, the ones in lower school and middle school maybe, and it's a real great value that's added here.
Definitely. Right.
Yep. So it's really helpful for us to get feedback from alums and just to hear about your experience. The proof is in the pudding, as they say, that you guys are the how you're doing in college and how Trinity has prepared you is so important. Can you say a little bit more about that? How did Trinity prepare you for your college education?
Of course. Yeah, I think because of how strong the humanities department is at Trinity and how much writing was involved in my high school curriculum, I think Trinity has very strongly prepared me for the essays and the reflections that I've had to write in college. When I was in high school, I thought Trinity was kind of overdoing it with how much we had to write in so many classes, and I didn't really get it. But then in college, I was so thankful. I was, a step ahead of everyone when an essay or reflection was required. And it was very easy for me after 4 years of writing to be able to produce those and to really boost my grade through essays in all of my classes. So that's one of the key things that I can tell people I really got academically from Trinity was writing a very well done essay.
Not just writing, but rewriting.
Of course, right.
Yeah. So, and that's something that has been required of you in college, right? That skill has been, you use it all the time. Yeah, that's good. So, and Rachel, what would you say about your preparation here at Trinity?
I think one of the most valuable things was the amount of independent research and thesis and the honors humanities curriculum here helps people to think independently and creatively on their own, which has helped me so much in architecture. Because so many people go to these high schools where they just learn facts and figures and then write it on a test and instantly forget it, and they never learn how to just think and explore and love learning, and also present them their thoughts too. So that's transferred into architecture really, really well for me.
Yeah.
I think, can I add to that?
Yeah, sure.
I think one of the things that Trinity did really well is give students opportunities to really explore. So like you were saying with the independent studies, but also like the senior capstone was fantastic. I mean, you designed a building, which is right up architecture, and I was able to, kind of going along with the theater that I had done, but teach a class and present well through that. And so I think the opportunities...
Tell us a little bit more about that, what you did in your capstone.
So my senior capstone was teaching American Sign Language to, I think we had freshmen through seniors in my winter class, which was an awesome opportunity. I'd never really taught before. I had never had the opportunity to teach before, and I had to plan the curriculum out. I had to, organize everything and make sure that the timing was well done. And so that opportunity to have that and to think, could I have a future in that? Or like, how am I in front of people? How am I presenting? How am I in conveying my ideas to other people and understanding them back? So just that opportunity was very, very incredible for me personally to have that.
Yeah. Opportunity is a good word. That's what we want students to have. Lots of opportunities. Sort of try things on, see how it fits. And what about your capstone? Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so my capstone for my senior year was designing, I guess, an arts building right over there. And that was just so much fun to actually explore architecture through that. You guys set me up with a local architect who's the same people that did the Blake Hubbard building. And so community connections were really great. And I think that prepared me a lot for architecture school and also really looked unique on my portfolio to be like, I had this individual experience that was my thesis, as opposed to taking an architecture classes, which some high schools offer, but aren't very creative, or you don't have much direction. So that helped a lot. And then other independent studies earlier on really got me into architecture. I think I had an independent study on Gothic architecture in one of my humanities. And then I did an arts independent study on sacred spaces at some point. So
I think that's another thing that parents in our lower grades may not be as aware of is the opportunities for all kinds of independent study and sort of exploring areas that might not be right down the center lane of the main curriculum in the upper school. Yeah, it's great. I'd love to think with you all a little bit about teachers, faculty here. Every time we do a survey, school-wide survey, the thing that keeps coming back is the faculty. That's why people are at Trinity, because of the teachers. And I wonder, as you all remember back, some of the teachers, some of whom are still here and some who have moved on to do other things, but what are some classes and some teachers that made an impact on you? What do you remember?
I think for me, one of the biggest impacts was the theater program here. And Mrs. Lai was incredible through that in getting people to participate, getting people to look at all aspects of performance theater, not just being on stage, but assistant directing. She had a lot of opportunities for students in her high school class to assistant direct with the middle school, which was a great opportunity. And also, set designing, set building, costumes, getting measurements and everything. So it was a very well-rounded class that she presented. But she also was my rhetoric teacher. So giving speeches and things. And that, those two together really helped me be able to present myself in front of other people. And that has helped me in college, definitely giving presentations and everything, which I didn't realize how much I would need to rely on that. But having that foundation through performance theater and rhetoric really helped me to be able to feel comfortable presenting and speaking in front of people, to feel comfortable just writing my ideas down and being able to form them in a way that came across clearly without notes in a speech. So I think she has had a really big impact on making me feel confident in that. But also a current teacher, Mrs. Steele, the Latin teacher, she has been just, she was phenomenal when I was here in her class, but even afterwards, she she's very good at reaching out to her former students to, seeing how life is, seeing how we're doing. And she's very good at bringing us back into the Trinity community with her current students. We recently had a little, I guess you could say, Latin class reunion with some people who had taken Latin with her and who had also gone on the trip to Italy with her. And so it's just a wonderful dinner to catch up about Trinity, about, Latin, about, fun stories. And I didn't go to the on the Italy trip, but just hearing them talk about their time there, and that was just a wonderful experience to catch up. And she organized it all, and it was a wonderful time.
Yeah. You've really hit on some of the fundamentals of our classical education, teaching students how to communicate, which is really what this is all about, and that Latin as an opportunity to do that, not the only one, but that's great. Rachel, how about you? What classes and teachers do you remember and made an impact on you?
Definitely the humanities department again, kind of pretty much everything you said over there. And then one teacher I really remember is Miss Easterlin, and I took a social entrepreneurship class with her.
Yeah.
And other classes like that here got me excited about my career path for the first time. I think I always kind of viewed like you get a job and then I guess you live on the side and that's the exciting part. But that class showed me the first time that people can have a passion for what they do and it can be their job, and also that you as an individual have the ability to make change. And it just got me really excited about everything and applying it to architecture. And then obviously the art department was a big part of my time here, and Mr. Clark was always like so great. And the portfolio program, he helped me so much. And then he always met me where I was at too. Like he would pull me in on things like I remember helping out with some of the theater sets with him, and we got to do mural classes during winter. It was just a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. So
it's fun to have you all back right at this time during Winterim, because you both mentioned Winterim, and then also the Arts Festival is coming up in a couple of weeks, and you all probably remember the Arts Festival for a chance to show your visual arts and also lots of drama. And,
Yes. Yeah.
Good drama. Yeah.
Yeah.
You both, this week we had just yesterday, a food truck over and lots of alums showed up. And why do alums come back to Trinity? What do you think? What's the draw?
I guess, I mean, the community, like it's pretty unique, and it being so small, it really feels like a family, and that you're coming back home, which you don't get with a large high school at all. So. And you recognize faces as soon as you walk through the door. I got stopped like 5 times just trying to get to the table I was sitting at. Being like, oh, I haven't seen you in 3 years. So yeah, it's great. It's like,
yeah, I think in addition to that, what always not really surprised me, because this is definitely something that you would expect from Trinity, but something that just it's really encouraging to me is that even teachers who I never took a class with, like the Spanish department, you know, Mrs. V, Miss Frost, they're always like, Olivia, how have you been? How are you? And I never took any Spanish classes here. I only took Latin. But they are always, you know, how are you? How's college been? And either other teachers and teachers that came after me, or, hi, I'm so-and-so, your class of 2014, great. How's college been? You know, they're very welcoming. Even if you don't really know them, it's a very friendly community and very welcoming community. And I think people love that and are really drawn to that.
Yeah, we talk a lot here about students being known and loved, and I think that what you're saying it really connects with that. And is there anything else that you would say about the impact of Trinity? I mean, you all are, you know, you're only 3 or 4 years out, so you haven't had a long view. But very few of our alums have long views. We're such a young school. But I am always interested to hear kind of from a distance what kind of impact Trinity has made. And you've already talked about that a lot, but I wonder if there's anything else you would say about the impact of the school.
I think for me, just again, the opportunities that Trinity has given me. I mean, Miss Easterlin is the one who brought in Chris Rosati with Inspire Media. And so for me to be able to have the opportunity to participate in his big idea for the Greater Good Challenge, that was huge for me. And it's still something that I look back so fondly on.
Tell us about that. That's right. That was pretty cool. I remember that.
Well, he had a competition. It was a statewide competition, and he selected 8 winners to do big ideas for the greater good. So it was the big challenge. And so mine was to have a giant coloring book that we took a lot of places around the triangle. And we had Trinity students trace out outlines and took it places, and people drew it. And then,
I remember that coloring book appearing in lots of places. And it was.
Yeah, and so we made a video out of it, and he had a big premiere.
It was huge. Like how long was it? Do you remember? It was
a football field.
Football field long, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, it's 300 feet. But yeah, that opportunity alone and how Trinity connected me to that, and how Trinity really, I mean, without the Trinity students and the faculty, I don't think I would have gotten that done. I mean, I had it set up in the hallway in the upper school with
That's
the
a lot of
overhead
coloring.
projectors.
Yeah.
It was tracing outlines, and
Right.
students helped me during break and lunch. And so it was an incredible group effort, and I honestly would not have gotten it done at all. It would have just been an idea without Trinity's support and help through that. So that's something that I definitely look back fondly.
Yeah. Anything you would add, Rachel?
I guess as far as lasting impact, I mean, we talk about faith a lot here, and I feel like my faith has its roots here pretty much. And I don't know where I would be if I didn't have that solid foundation to help me grow from here to be at a college that's more secular, and be in a community that's more secular now. So that's really helped me a lot. And then I think the other thing here is the relationships I've formed, and being able to really recognize that iron sharpens iron here. So like being here, a minority here and a more liberal person, but still like Olivia is like one of my best friends, and we've been best friends since 6th grade playing tennis. And we disagree on some things, but like she's one of my best friends, and you can always find connections and realize what's actually important.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've really found that out here.
That's great. Well, what a great model for all of us, those relationships across differences and focusing on the things that unite us and our faith and how important that is. So, yeah, thank you for sharing that. Well, it is always a privilege to talk to alums and we once a lion, always a lion. And thank you for coming back to Trinity, and thanks for talking with me today.
Yeah,
Of course.
So,
great.
and we wish you the best as you finish up your studies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.